from the old brick wall. Kansas up 21-13 first half. Poke the steal. Jams, hits the floor hard. He's okay. Rice within 6. Jacques Vaughn, the complete game. Doesn't have to score to be effective. Nice fade. Scott Pollard. Vaughn took no shots in the first half. KU up 36-27. Vaughn passes up the wide open shot. Pollard. Lefty hook. And then eventually Jacques going to score. Coast to coast, only 10 points. KU wins. Jacques Vaughn ties his career high with 13 assists. KU coach Roy Williams said, this was a step in the right direction. It wasn't the best we can play by any means. Never be satisfied, guys. Always keep striving. Georgia, North Carolina. Bulldogs have won their first 3 games for Coach Smith. An underrated backcourt. Dante Calabria from the corner nails it. He had 11 in the first half. His mate Jeff McGinnis rolls one in. 17-point halftime lead for North Carolina. The Heels get a little banged up in the second. Shammond Williams loses his legs, turns it over to K2 Davis, a career-high 31. Williams was okay. And look at the freshman, Vinny Carter, with ferocity. 11-point Tar Heel lead. Then Serge Zwicker bangs his head on this play. Had to leave the game with a concussion. Dante dumping to Antoine Jamison. And Jamison, a nice game, 14 points, 12 boards. The Tar Heels now have Cincinnati. Bearcats led all the way. Senior guard Keith Legree, the runner. 2 of his 13. Bearcats by 22 at the half. Damon Flint, nice game with the left hand. 20 for Flint. Bearcats move the ball around. Junior guard Terrence Davis. Upstairs, low angle spank, and Cincy routs Wilmington 82-47. Flint scores 17 first half points for the Bearcats.
Try to inbound it, huh? Victor Page, the steal and the layup. Plenty of this. Later, Allen Iverson with a steal. And then Page with a pick. Hard to score if you can't get a shot off, can't get up the court. Still in the first half, Jerome Williams taking it in. He's hacked and he hits. 62-23 Hoyas at the half. Thompson left his starters in for much of the second half. No doubt to produce highlights like that. No other reason. Iverson to Williams. The Hoyas, I think you could say they coasted to victory, 113-58. Georgetown has won 4 straight. Othella Harrington scored 19 points. Iverson had 15. The Hornets, the poor Hornets, they turned the ball over 37 times. Yale and UConn, another M&M'er, as Dick Vitale would say, mismatch. Deron Sheffer with position down low, the hoop and one. Sheffer doing it all. Look at the vision. Great pass to Ray Allen. The quickness to get it up on the glass. 27 points, 4 assists for Sheffer. More sweet passing. Ricky Moore, penetration. No look to Kirk King for the easy layup. The Huskies finish it off. Look at Allen. What an athlete. Reverse thunder there. Huskies would roll 93-66. UConn led 10-0 in this game before Yale even got off a shot. Ray Allen had 31 points. Deron Sheffer, as you saw, a career-high 27 as the Huskies improved now to 6-1. Delaware and Indiana in the Indiana Classic. Bobby Knight wants some consistency from the Hoosiers. First half, Brian Evans, Charlie Miller for the alley-oop. Indiana up 15 early on. To the second half, Neil Reed. The feed to Andre Patterson for the one-handed slam. Patterson with 21. And Indiana running the high-low. Oh, that's a nice pass inside. Todd Lindeman taking the feed from Patterson as Indiana cruises, winning it by 17, 85-68. Charlie Miller with a career-high 20.
Keith Legree upstairs to Danny Fortson, who slams it home. Danny had 14. Then it's Damon Flint ahead of the field and likes to dunk with the left since he opened on a 22 to run. And then the windmill. Oh! Did you feel that one? Flint had 10 since he wins. Art Long pops in 18. No rest for the Bearcats. Of course, they go Saturday afternoon to play Arkansas. Their pass, the lost art to Jerry Hester. The Illini up 49-33. More Richard Dick Keene. Release rotation. Illinois up 23. Keene 18 points, 5 assists, 4 threes. Now the Illini 4-on-1. Give it up. Kevin Turner to Keene. And Illinois in a rout. Southeast Missouri becomes the Illini's 33rd consecutive victim in their tournament. Richard Keene with 18. The Illini improved to 5-0. Ball State gets a 26-point effort from sophomore Bonsai Wells and are rewarded with a meeting against Illinois Saturday night. Roy Hammond scores 16 for San Jose.
was just trying to get his team up for facing number 1. Jared Haas, alley-oop. Paul Pierce with a slam. Pierce had 2 dozen by halftime. Roy Williams' team was already up by 15. More the same. Jacques Vaughn accelerating, lays it right in. Vaughn had 11 points, dished out 5 assists. Then Vaughn again with the D. Anticipation, the steal, the breakaway. He'll get fouled hard by Andre Speech. Lands hard on his wrist. Jayhawks look to see if he's all right. He left the game with a bruised left wrist. And they win it by 30. Could be a costly victory for the Jayhawks, who remain unbeaten. They're 5-0. They're off until next Saturday now when they host Indiana in Kemper Arena. The Hawks were 5-0 last year when they lost at Bloomington by 19. Chrysler Arena, rematch of the 1992 championship game. Duke and Michigan, classic game. The freshman way outside. Lewis Bullock gives Michigan a 78-75 lead. Then Chris Collins, the son of the Detroit Pistons coach, finds Jeff Capel to tie it at 78 from long range. Michigan already up 3. Messio Baston goes offhand, puts his team up 5. Michigan thought they'd put it away. But back to 3, and then Doug Collins' kid cranks up a 3, ties it at 84, loves himself for it, still tied. Bullock hits 2 free throws, 86-84 Michigan. Collins trying to put his team up. NBA 3 with a college range. Coach K not happy. Then Collins comes down again, falls off the front of the rim. Michigan pulls it out, 88-84. It's the first time in the 90s that Michigan is down Duke, snapping a string of 6 straight losses in this series. Robert the Tractor Trailer had an awful afternoon. The freshman finished with just 3 points, and Marbury made the most of it in the first half. The stutter step and shoot it over Anton Walker. 17 in the first half for Marbury, who was marvelous. But while Tech was up 3 at the break, looking for the upset, Kentucky came back huge in the second half. Walker got the lay-in. Wildcats open a 9-point lead. Then Wayne Turner's elbow will hit Marbury in the nose, bloodying him. Left the game. He did come back, but he was done scoring for the night. All of his points coming in the first half. Too much Kentucky. Windmill from Derek Anderson with the slam. The Cats come alive in the second half. Anderson to Walter McCarty. They put 5 in double figures and bury Georgia Tech 83-60, holding the Jackets to just 19 points in the second half. Kentucky's 4-1. They're also now 30-4 against Tech in Rupp Arena. The Jackets play Georgia and Louisville as a tough week continues ahead. At the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, the Hawkeyes going head-to-head with the Cyclones. A little over 2 minutes left, 48-42, Iowa State down. Eric Willoughby with a second free throw and the tip in by Sean Bankhead. Down to 4. Pandemonium reigning. Iowa State with a trap. J.C. Holloway intercepts, set up the offense. Look for the long-range shot. You're down 4. Willoughby with a 3. It's a 1-point game. Then Iowa State just couldn't stop the Hawkeyes. Kenyon Murray breaks free underneath. That put it away. They win a tough one, 56-50. Iowa State not only suffers its first loss of the season, it's the first time in 42 non-conference home games that the Cyclones have been beaten in Ames. That was also a Big Ten team, Indiana.
Boston College up 25-18. Second half, UMass goes on a 19-2 run. Camby with the pretty driving shot. Boston College down 55-52. Danye Abrams with the driving jumper, and he's fouled. He's pumped. Tied the game at 55. Game tied at 57. Camby pops the ball out to Edgar Padilla, who hits the 3. UMass up by 3. Boston College next, trip up the court. Abrams' shot is rejected by Camby. UMass wins 65-57. UMass wins 65-57, just in case you didn't hear me. Camby finished with 3 blocks and 19 points as number 3 UMass moves to 5-0. This game was so big that Boston College had the Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld and former BC quarterback Doug Flutie on hand in the.
As Tim Duncan's follow-up to his failure against the Minutemen, taking on Florida and Dimitri Hill, and Duncan was ready for this one. Wake up too early after the slam, then the pass from the post. Duncan spreading the well. Tony Rutland hits the 3. Dave Odoms-Deacons up by 10 at the break. And what a tremendous wraparound by the Florida freshman Eddie Shannon, who had 13, but Hill was no match for Duncan. The denial there, 7 blocks for Duncan on the day. Then Ricky Perrell breaks away, and so does Wake, winning at 77-53. 14 points, 14 rebounds, 7 blocks, and 9 assists. So a good bounce-back game for Duncan, although his coach, Dave Odom, said he'll never hear the end of having that 9 assists. That's how close he came to a triple-double. Humphrey Coliseum in Starkville, 8th-ranked Mississippi State is certain to drop out of the top 10 with an astonishing loss to 19-point underdog Arkansas.
Half. UCLA jumps out early. Tony Bailey to the man McCoy for the dunk. 7-1 Bruins. McCoy down low. Unstoppable. John is proud. 36-23 at the break. Second half, Maryland comes out with a full-court press. Turnover. Another turnover. Suddenly, a 19-point UCLA lead was dwindled to 5 points. Jim Herrick wanted to regroup the Bruins on the break. McCoy on the offensive board and the score. He's just a freshman, folks. McCoy was outstanding on defense, too. The block. It's part of a triple-double, everybody. Here's the situation. McCoy finished with 15 points, 10 rebounds, and a Pac-10 UCLA record, both 11 block shots. Just in case you were wondering, records of block shots were not recorded until 1979, eliminating performances from Jabbar and Walton. We move on. Purdue and Villanova. First half. The miss on the 3. Kerry Kittles grabs the board and goes coast to coast. He can dribble. He can score. Nova up 4. Then Kittles on D. The trap on Roberts. Forces the steal. Takes it in. This time, the jam. 35-21 Nova at the half. Second half, more Wildcats defense. Alvin Williams makes the steal. Eric Ebert gives it back to Williams. Leaves it for Kittles. Gene Katie having a bad day as Villanova wins 67-50. Kerry Kittles was very Kerry Kittles.